Yeah, I think the key to that, right, is really making sure that your process and whatever your process goals you've identified are, that you do genuinely believe that they will lead to the results that you want, right? It's not a perfect up and to the right, like, we're not making widgets here, right? You don't put in 5 hours of effort and get 5 wins on the season. Like other teams are preparing too, right? Other teams are trying things too. And so there's a little bit of that, like you've got to have real clarity that whatever it is, like let's take you as an example, JP, all the training that you're doing, you've got to believe that the training that you're doing is getting you closer to the high rocks output that you want. And just as a sidebar, I'm flying out to Dublin next time so we could do one together. I really want to do one.
Awesome.
But I think that would be kind of the first thing, right? And then a little bit, you need to like stay the course and be consistent. I think one of the things that happens when you don't get the result that you want is that the tendency is to start looking for everything that isn't working, right? And then you start just changing a bunch of stuff. But oftentimes we don't give things enough time to play out. Like it takes a really long time to build a great culture. It takes a long time to get everyone on a team understanding each other deeply enough to be able to recognize like how each other plays and what they need to be successful. And so if you don't stick with it a little bit, you're going to get more frantic, more chaotic experiences where you really can't figure out what the core of the issue is. So yes, it can be hard to sort of like trust the process, right? But if you believe you've built a good process, then sticking with it is probably the most useful thing that you can do. And that doesn't mean don't experiment with new things or try new lineups or whatever, right? I'm not suggesting, just keep it the same all the time. But what I am suggesting is if you genuinely believe that good hard practice plus good psychological preparation plus connection on the team, for example, if that's your formula for what makes for a great team for you, then you've got to stick with that for a little bit and give it time to play out, even if it's not a perfect one-to-one input output, because otherwise you're never going to know or get to sort of see it fully lived out. And I think gets more into coaching stuff too, probably, but I think one of the things I've observed is as coaches get a little bit more frantic or frenetic about the outcomes that they're getting, it creates the same internal experience in their players, right? So what it ends up doing is sort of undermining the players' belief in you as a coach,